Hi everyone, and welcome to this demo session on SAP S/4HANA SD. We are starting a new batch on SAP S/4HANA Sales and Distribution from 28th of November 2025. So this demo would be helpful for you in case if you are planning to learn SAP S/4HANA. In case if you are listening to this demo after our batch is already started or our batch is already completed, you can still register for this course. Okay, instead of the live course, you will be able to register for the self-paced video course. Even if you are listening to the video before the training starts and due to some reason, if you are not able to attend the live sessions, maybe your time or your schedule is not allowing you to attend the live sessions, still you can register for the self-paced videos. You will be getting the recordings of the actual live sessions that we are going to conduct. So before I proceed, let me start with my small introduction. My name is Vikram. I have around 18 years of SAP experience, and over these years I have worked on different implementation, support, rollout and upgrade projects. Also, I have I have traveled a lot. I have a lot of experience in working in different countries. I have done some projects in Europe, in US, Middle East, Southeast Asia, even in India. So over these years, I not only worked on a particular region, but I have the global exposure. Also, I have successfully delivered multiple full cycle SAP S/4HANA implementations. Okay, and again, in terms of the industries where I worked for the manufacturing companies, FMCG companies, logistics, retail, telecommunication. There are a lot of different industries where I have implemented SAP S/4HANA system. And I have the deep expertise in order to cash process. Okay, when we talk about order to cash process, this is a process which starts with the inquiry from the customer and ends when we receive the payment from the customer, right? That is the reason it is called as order to cash process. Okay, and that is something which we are going to learn in detail when we go through this training. Okay, so which includes the pricing. Okay, you know, whenever you are selling something to the customer, you need to have the right pricing, how it is maintained in SAP, how are we going to do the billing, how are we going to do the shipping of material to the customer, how to manage the credit limits of the customer. All those things I worked on different projects where most of these things are already implemented. I have extensive hands-on experience in SD integration with FI, MM, PP, and EWM modules, right? Because when we are talking about SAP, SAP is an ERP, and ERP means it is not an independent software. It is a software which works together with the different modules in SAP. So when it comes to SAP SD, it has a very tight integration with MM, FI, PP, EWM, and some other components in SAP. Okay, and I also worked on the data migration projects, right? So whenever a company wants to implement SAP in terms of SD, when they want to implement SAP SD, they need to bring some data from the third-party systems to SAP, right? So for example, today, maybe you are using some old system and now you are implementing SAP. So in order to bring the data of non-SAP system to SAP system, we perform the data migration activities. Right, I worked on different RICEFW objects, performed various type of different testings in the real-time scenarios. Okay, and in terms of the training, okay, so whatever I talked about, it was all about my consulting experience. In terms of the training, I have trained over 10,000 professionals, okay, and I helped many achieve their SAP certification and global placements. So a lot of our customers or a lot of our students, they have completed the certification, they have cleared the certification, and there are many students who are already well placed across the world, right? So in terms of my online presence, you will find me on LinkedIn. You can search with this name. In terms of the YouTube, you will be also able to see a lot of content that I post on YouTube. So if you just search with this name, you'll be able to see a lot of demo videos which will help you understand how I provide the training and what is my approach. So that was about me, and now let's talk about the topic. So as I told you, we are here to understand what exactly is SAP, what is SAP SD, what are the topics that we are going to cover in this particular course, and the detail about the course, like when the batch is starting, what would be the timing, who is the target audience. All these things we will understand in this short session. Let's start with what exactly is SAP and why it matters. Why you should think about shifting your career to SAP consulting. Right? Number one, if you want to know SAP, the first thing is you should know the full form. So SAP stands for Systems, Applications and Products in Data Processing. Now, what exactly is SAP? SAP is an ERP. Okay, ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. Okay, so it is again one type of software, but it is not a normal software which takes care of a particular department of the organization. It is a software which helps companies manage and integrate different business processes. Right? So it is not a software which is only taking care of finance department of the organization. It is not the software which is only taking care of the sales and distribution part of the company. It is not the software which is only taking care of the purchasing part. It is a software which takes care of almost all the different departments of the organization. And that is the reason it is called as an ERP software. And in terms of the ERP software, it is the topmost ERP product available in the market. And that is the reason more than 80% of Fortune 500 companies are already using SAP. Right? So you think about any company in the world, you think about any industry, any country, the top customers in that industry, in that country, you will find they are already using SAP. Right? So you think about any company, any industry, you will definitely find that the topmost player in that industries are using SAP. Why? Because SAP is very powerful and it allows the companies to manage all their business processes, which include sales, finance, manufacturing, logistics, HR, and many other features within the same system. Right? So SAP is a world's leading ERP system. It is used by the top organizations to manage every aspect of their business. From sales and distribution to finance and supply chain and HR, everything can be managed in SAP. And specifically with SAP S/4HANA, businesses are transforming digitally and professionals skilled in it are in huge demand. Now, obviously, if we are talking about a huge software, if we are talking about a big software which is helping almost more than 80% of Fortune 500 companies, in order to implement, in order to support these customers, in order to support these industries, definitely they need good consultants. And that is the reason SAP professionals are always in good demand. Okay, from last 20-25 years, you will see continuously there is a very good demand in the market. There is a huge demand in the market for SAP consultants. Okay, so that is about the entire SAP. We are still not talking about SAP SD. Now, let's focus on SAP SD. So what exactly is SAP SD? SAP SD is just one module of SAP. Okay, within SAP, there are different modules because it takes care of different departments of the organization. So within all the different modules, SAP SD is one of the module which takes care of sales and distribution. So in a company, there is a sales department. In order to manage the sales processes, okay, right from inquiry to quotation to order to delivering the material to sending the invoice to the customer, receiving the payments, all these things are covered under the SD module in integration with finance. Right? So that is called as order to cash process, which starts with the inquiry from the customer and ends when customer makes the payment. Okay, so SAP SD module is for the companies in order to manage their sales, their logistics, and customer management. And as I told you, it has a very tight integration with FI, and PP modules. Okay, takes care of the inventory management. So whenever we are selling the material to the customer, we are selling from the inventory. Okay, we can only sell if we have the stock available in our warehouse. Similarly, whenever we are going to generate any billing to the customer, it is going to generate the financial posting. And in some cases for the manufacturing company, when we get the order from the customer, after that we may need to manufacture that particular product, and that is the reason there is a tight integration with PP also. So in short, the SAP SD module handles everything from customer inquiry and order management to shipping, billing, revenue recognition, and it is the heart of sales operation in any organization. Okay, so you talk about any organization where the sales process is handled, SAP SD module can simplify it because it manages almost all the things that are required in the sales department of the organization. So that was about SAP SD. Now, why you should think about becoming the SAP SD consultant? Why you should start your career as a SAP SD consultant? Number one, again and again, I told you there is high global demand for SAP SD consultants. And obviously more demand means what? Excellent salary. Okay, not only one-time salary, but there is a huge potential of growth. So if you see in the market today, those consultants who are having 5-10 years of experience, you will find the salaries that they are getting are much higher than the other professions available in the market, right? Similarly, what you can do after you go through the SAP SD as a career, you can become the SD consultant, you can become the functional analyst, you can become the business process expert. So these are the different designations which are offered to someone who starts their career as a SAP SD consultant. Okay, again, you will get a chance to work across the industries, because if you look at any industries, manufacturing, retail, FMCG, IT, banking, telecommunication, everywhere there is a sales, everywhere there is a sales department, right? So when you start working as an SAP SD consultant, it may happen that the first project where you are working is a manufacturing company. The next project where you are working is retail company. So not only you will become the expert in SAP SD part, but you will be also expert in different industries, right? So that is the biggest benefit of becoming the SAP consultant, because the learning will never stop. The growth will never be stopped. You will always get better salaries compared to the other domains in the market. So SAP SD offers one of the most rewarding IT careers. Okay, combining business knowledge with technology. So you are not only learning the IT technology, but you will also be learning the different business processes of different industries. So whether you are from sales or you are from finance or you are from logistics background, SD is your gateway to SAP world, right? So there is no hard and fast rule that who can learn SAP SD, because SAP SD is a core module in SAP S/4HANA which doesn't require any prerequisite. So obviously, if you are coming from the sales background, that is going to be more beneficial, but that doesn't mean that the finance or any other professions cannot start their career as a SAP SD consultant. Now let me focus on this particular course. Now I understand that most of you who are going to listen to this session, you are not already coming from SAP background, and that is the reason you might not be aware about all these terminologies. But there is a reason why I have included these slides in my PowerPoint presentation, because if you want to compare, right, if you want to compare the course content with other institutes, or if you want to compare the course content with the certification syllabus, you can easily do that, and you will get a confidence that yes, all the topics which are part of the certification exam, or all the topics which are part of the interviews when you are appearing for the interviews, are covered in this particular course. Okay, so single line, if I want to make, everything that is required to pass your certification exam and everything that will help you to get your first opportunity as SAP SD consultant, all those topics are covered very well practically in this course, right? So we will start with introduction to SAP and SAP S/4HANA, right? So obviously I already gave you short introduction today, but there will be dedicated one session, first session on only introduction to SAP and SAP S/4HANA. And there will be total 3 sessions where we will be discussing the conceptual understanding on what is SAP, what is HANA, how HANA is different than SAP S/4HANA, what is SAP Fiori, what is SAP Activate methodology, You might have heard in SAP there is a private cloud, there is on-premise, there is public cloud. All those questions in your mind will get resolved in the first 3 sessions. We'll discuss about the deployment options, adoption options. So what is greenfield implementation project? What is brownfield implementation project? Those things we'll be discussing in adoption options. And you must be knowing that SAP S/4HANA is a latest product. The previous product that was available from SAP was SAP ECC. And there are many times students comes and ask us that, sir, I don't know anything about SAP. So should I learn SAP ECC first before I come to SAP S/4HANA? The answer is it depends on from where you are taking the training. If you are taking the training from us, we don't want you to come with any background, right? So even if you are completely new to SAP, you don't know SAP ECC, we are going to teach you from scratch. Okay, although we will be teaching you directly SAP S/4HANA, but wherever there is a comparison required between ECC and S/4HANA, that also will be covered in detail, right? So we will understand what is the difference between ECC and S/4HANA. So first 3 sessions, dedicated sessions, will be on this particular topic. Then the second topic that we'll be discussing is enterprise structure, where we'll be understanding what is sales organization, distribution channel, division, sales area, plant, storage location, shipping point, and assignments between the different organizational units, right? So these are, again, if you understand from the enterprise structure point of view, these are the important topics. And as I told you, all those topics which are important are covered under the enterprise structure also. Then we will go to the master data management, where we will understand the business partner concept, which is a new concept in SAP S/4HANA. We will understand how the customer master is created, how the partner determination works, how the material master data is maintained from the SD point of view. Okay, what is customer material info record, and what are customer hierarchies and pricing data, right? So these are the topics which we'll be discussing in detail when it comes to the master data management, right? Again, I'm repeating, you might not be already familiar with these topics, but my idea is to go in detail and explain you what will be covered so that you have a clarity on whether everything which is required to become a SAP SD consultant or is covered in this course or not. So we will then go for sales document and order management, where we will understand the sales document types. As I told you, we will start with the inquiry process, then quotation, then sales orders. We will configure the document types, different type of documents, copy control function, item categories, okay, sales order life cycle and process steps, the document flow, status overview, schedule line categories, and delivery scheduling, right? In terms of ATP, which is called as available to promise, we are going to cover both the normal ATP as well as advanced ATP, right? What is available to promise? This means that whenever you are going to get an order from the customer, you need to perform the check whether that material is available in the stock or not. If it is not available, immediately we need to trigger for manufacturing or maybe for purchasing. So that function is taken care by ATP or AATP, which is advanced available to promise. Then there is incompletion log. This normally means whenever you are going to create any sales document, and if you have not provided all the necessary information, system will issue an error message that please fill this mandatory information. Okay, so as a consultant, how are we going to tell the system that which fields are mandatory, which fields are optional? That is controlled through incompletion log. Then we have text determination, output determination. This output determination, again, there is a difference between ECC and S/4HANA. We are going to discuss both, how it was handled in ECC as well as how it will be handled in SAP S/4HANA, right? The new output determination. And then some of the topics like backorder processing and sales order blocking will be covered in detail. When it comes to pricing conditions, all the detailed configuration, condition techniques, condition types, access sequences, condition tables, how to set up the pricing procedures, right? How to create the pricing conditions for discounts, for surcharges, taxes, freight, and rebate processing. So what does it actually mean? So whenever you are going to create a sales order for a customer, or whenever you are going to sell something to the customer, you are charging some price. Okay, there will be some base price, there will be some taxes, there will be some discounts that you'll be giving, there will be some surcharges, there will be some freight charges, rebates. So how those are handled in the SAP system, right? That is something which we'll be discussing in pricing and conditions. Okay, we will also understand the debugging in case if the pricing is not working correctly, how to debug, what is going wrong, and definitely the pricing and conditions will be integrated with billing and accounting. So ultimately, whatever will be the pricing conditions, when you post, it is going to generate the accounting entry, and how those pricing conditions are attached to the GL accounts, that is something which we'll be discussing in this integration with accounting part. Then we have shipping and delivery processing. So once we got the order from the customer, we are going to ship or deliver the material to the customer. So how the outbound deliveries are created, right? What are the different type of delivery documents, how the copy controls works, and within the delivery, we need to pick the material, we need to pack the material, we need to issue the goods to the customer, how the route will be determined, how the transportation will work, everything will be covered under shipping and delivery processing, right? Again, in shipping also, we have the output determination. Output determination means whenever you are going to generate any document in SAP, okay, for example, you have shipped the material to the customer. So with that shipping, you are also going to generate a physical printout or maybe an email, which you'll be sharing with the customer, right? So that is output determination. Next one is billing. So billing and invoicing to the customer. So what are the different billing document types? Okay, for example, the normal invoice, the credit debit memos, in some of the cases, we give the pro forma invoice. The billing plan, if you don't want to bill all at once, let's say there is a monthly billing plan or a quarterly billing plan, or the milestone based billing. So we will only bill the customer when the milestone is completed. These are the different type of scenarios which will be covering under billing. And again, from the configuration point of view, copy control, invoice list processing, again integration with FI, which includes automatic account determination, rebate settlement, invoice creation, again output. Output you will find everywhere, because with every document, system generates the output which can be shared with our customer. Okay, and even if there is any credit memo to be given to the customer, or if there is any cancellation of invoice required, how that is handled within SAP. Now, please remember, this course is not only for the end users, right? Again and again, I think initially itself we discussed, we are talking about becoming the SAP SD consultants, not the SAP end users. So throughout this course, our focus will not be only to understand from the business user's perspective, but each of this topic we are also going to discuss from the consultant perspective. So what we do as a consultant, that is something which I'm going to train during this course. Okay, then comes the credit and risk management. So when you are giving the customers something on credit, there is a risk involved, right? Customers may not pay on time. So who is a good customer? Who is a bad customer? How much limit to be given to the specific customer? That is something which is handled within credit and risk management. So in SAP terms, we create the credit control areas. We create different risk categories like low risk, high risk. We provide the statistic versus dynamic credit checks. Okay, so that whenever a customer gives the order, system will verify if the customer is having enough limit available. System will automatically perform the credit check. System will block some invoices if the credit is not available. And then someone who is upper management in the organization, they need to release the orders so that it can be processed further. It has a very tight integration with FI, and within FI account receivable module for credit exposure management, and how to generate the reports and monitor the credit management functionality within SAP SD. Now this topic also previously in ECC it was handled differently. In SAP S4HANA it would be handled differently. So we will understand both the parts, how it was handled in ECC and how it is going to be handled in SAP S/4HANA. So after this course, you are not only going to be ready to work on SAP S/4HANA projects, but even in case you got an opportunity where the customer is still using SAP ECC, because to be open, there are still many customers who are not migrated to SAP S/4HANA. So in that case, you will be easily able to work without learning anything new, right? So you'll be comfortably able to work on ECC as well as SAP S/4HANA after this course. Not only SAP S/4HANA on-premise or private cloud, but for each of the topic towards the end of the course, I will also let you know how private cloud and public cloud is different. So this course is not only going to teach you how SAP S/4HANA on-premise or private cloud works, but this is also going to give you the overview of how the public cloud system is different than the private cloud. So again, there is no need for going on any other course to learn public cloud. Most of the things we are going to cover within this course itself. And I think this is a unique proposition. I don't think anyone in the industry, in the training industry, is providing the course which offers private cloud as well as public cloud in one single course. Okay, already there are a lot of courses available on the private cloud, but if you look at the public cloud point of view, there are not much trainings available and it is a future. So considering that, we are not only learning private cloud, but we'll be also learning public cloud in this particular course. Okay, there are few more topics. Spatial sales scenarios. So how the third party order processing works, how the consignment sales process works. I hope most of you who are attending this demo, you are already from the sales perspective. So you might be already knowing what are these technical things which are being used here. But even if you don't know, when in the live session, it is not only going to be SAP. Before even I go to the SAP screen, I will explain what is third party order processing, what is consignment sales, what is intercompany sales, right? How the return processing works, how the make to order and make to stock scenario works, what is cash sales, what is rush sales, what is free of charge delivery. All these things we will first understand on the piece of paper without worrying about the SAP, and then we will discuss how it works in the SAP system. And again, as I told you, SD is in SAP, it is not only one single module. All the modules in SAP, they are integrated with each other. So SD is integrated with MM, it is integrated with FI, it is integrated with PP. So wherever the integration topics will come, we will be covering those also in detail. Then there are some cross-functional configurations. Again, you already understood what is output determination, text determination. We again understood what is incompletion procedure. So these are some of the topics which we'll be also discussing in the course. Finally, the last topic from the SAP SD perspective is analytics, Fiori apps, and S/4HANA innovations. So SAP Fiori, what is SAP Fiori? You will understand how SAP Fiori looks like. You will be able to practically do some of the transactions using Fiori. We will see what are the different real-time reports available in SAP S/4HANA SD, what are CDS views, okay? And as I told you, you will be also getting the overview to public and private cloud, right? So not only on-premise system, you'll be able to understand how SAP S/4HANA SD works on private cloud as well as public cloud. So these were the topics which are part of SAP certification exam. Those are the topics which you must know in order to become a good SAP consultant. But still, good is not enough. You want to become a great consultant, right? So for that, we added few topics, okay, which are not part of the certification exam, but which will add a lot of value in your profile, in your CV. So if you, in addition to the common topics, if you say, I know the real-time exposure, I'm ready for the interview. So what we are going to do is we are going to provide you some sample documentations which will help you how the real-time projects are executed. Okay, on top of that, we are also going to provide you some certification stuff which will help you to clear your certification exam in the first attempt. And on top of that, we'll be also supporting you in the interview preparation, right? So after the course, you should be ready to go for the interview, right? So full end-to-end sales cycle project will be you will be completing in the as a part of this training. You will be creating a lot of documentations and configurations. Okay, you'll be getting a lot of hands-on in creating the documentation and configurations. SAP certification exam preparation, we will show you what is required from the SAP certification exam perspective. Common interview questions and scenarios, right? So what are the common questions which are asked in the interviews and how to answer those questions? We will help you in resume building and job assistance. Okay, but please be very careful. In most of the institutes, they only focus on that we will provide you 100% placement. We are a little bit different here. We know that we cannot survive by giving the false commitments, right? I don't know how other institutes are handling, but you know the situation. So instead of saying that we will provide you 100% placement, we say we provide 100% job assistance, which includes preparing your resume, helping you with the interview preparation, and wherever we will come across the opportunities, we will share it with you so that if you want to apply for those opportunities, you can apply directly. But we never say that we will provide 100% placement, because that is a false commitment. Anyone who is giving you this commitment, you know, only you yourself can, take a guarantee that whether you will be able to perform or not. No one can take your guarantee. If you just purchase the course from me and you never attend any of the session, I cannot guarantee you that you will land a job, right? But if you attend the sessions properly, if you practice properly, if you complete all the assignments, I can take your guarantee that you will easily land a job after this course. Okay, maybe I need to verify whether this certification code is correct. Okay, so don't directly blindly go with this certification code. I will confirm maybe on the description of this video. And then when it comes to the data migration overview, these are some additional topics which we included to become the great consultants. We definitely want you to become a great consultant. And in order to do that, there are some additional topics like the data migration and the RICEFW objects. So these topics, as I told you, are not part of your certification exam, and nobody expects that you already know this when you are starting your first project as a SAP SD consultant. But if you have the basic understanding of this, this is going to add a lot of value in your CV. So you will understand what is data migration, what is the importance of clean master and transactional data before go live. Okay, what is a migration cycle, how to extract the data from the old system, how to transform, load and validate in the new system. Okay, what is the role of the functional consultant versus the technical consultant? So what is ABAP? What is Fiori? How those consultants are different than the functional consultants? And there are different migration tools like LTMC, LTMOM, Migration Cockpit. So these are all the new tools which are available on SAP S/4HANA. In terms of the RICEFW objects, so I will just summarize. RICEFW objects are customizations, okay, which means SAP already delivers the standard product. There are already a lot of features available in SAP SD module, but sometimes even after having this many features, customer may find that some of the requirements they got, they are not able to fulfill within the standard SAP system. So in that particular case, SAP provides the option that you can write a code, okay, or you can add additional features in your SAP system, which are done with the help of ABAP. Okay, and ABAP, what they will do, they will create the RICEFW objects. So sometimes we may need some reports to be created. Sometimes we may need to connect to different interfaces. Sometimes we need to create the conversion programs, enhancements, forms, or workflows. Again, I can understand you might not be able to relate these terminologies now, but believe me, once you go through this course, you will be able to be very clear on all these topics. And as a sample, there are a lot of videos which are posted on my YouTube channel. Okay, there is a video available on this RICEFW object also. just go through that video. I provided the video on LTMC also on my YouTube channel. So just to verify the quality of the training, you can go through that videos and you will automatically feel confident that yes, you are able to understand all those things in detail. Okay, so that was about the course content. Now, who is the right audience to join this course? So as I told you, there is no background or there is no prerequisite, right? So this program is perfect for anyone looking to enter or grow in SAP ecosystem. So whether you are a student, right, you are, let's say you are just graduated or post-graduated, or you are already a working professional, you are working in the sales, logistics, finance, whatever domain, and you are interested for SAP SD, or anyone who is looking to upgrade your skill. So if you are already, let's say, a SAP consultant in one module and now you want to learn SAP SD, or you are a SAP technical consultant, now you want to migrate to SAP SD. And one more important thing, there is no technical background required, right? So please, even if you are coming from, non-technical background, even if you don't know coding at all, it is completely fine. SAP SD is not about coding, right? So in short, who can join this course? It can be the fresh graduate, it can be the working professional, or the career switchers who are looking to enter into the IT industry. And what makes our course different from the other institutes, or forget about other institutes, what you can expect out of our course? Number one, you will be getting real-time system access, right? So whatever things we are going to show you in the sessions, live sessions, we will be providing you the system access. We arrange it from the third party, and we are expecting that all those things which you learned during the session, you will practice on your own. Whenever you practice, if you come across any errors, any issues, any clarifications, there will be our dedicated support team. Okay, Monday to Saturday, they will be available. There will be the WhatsApp group which will be created for all the batch students. You can post your questions immediately. As soon as you post, you will get a revert from our team, okay, with the proper solution. In case if you are not happy with that solution, you can connect with me. Okay, anyways, we'll be connecting 3 days in a week. This session is going to be on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, India time, morning time. So anyways, we'll be connecting 3 times in a week, and these sessions I will use to explain a new topic plus to clarify any of your doubts. So the live instructor-led classes will happen on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays. As I told you, this will help you in getting the placement as well as passing your certification exam. In terms of the trainer, I already provided you my background. I have 18 years of experience, so I know in and out of how the SAP SD processes works. So that will help you a lot. Okay, and it is not like some junior trainer is giving you the training. From the additional benefits point of view, you are going to get the recordings of the live sessions. Okay, and obviously there is a possibility of getting this live sessions as a lifetime access also, right? By default it is available for only 1 year, but there is a possibility, if you want, you can convert your recorded session for the lifetime access, which means whenever you start working on the project, if you come across any any new requirement and you want to refresh your knowledge with the videos, those videos will be available with you. You can watch any number of times. So to summarize, our training is not just theory. It's the hands-on practical learning guided by experienced SAP consultants, and you will work on the real system, real scenarios, and gain lifetime access to recordings and support. With that, I think the last slide. So how to register for the course and how to contact us. So as I told you, repeating once again, the new batch will be starting on 20th of November, and it is an online live class. We will make the use of the real-time projects. You will be getting the certification support, and in order to register for this course, you can reach out to this particular number, okay, or you can also visit our website and you'll be able to see the SAP SD course. You can directly register from there also. Any questions, any clarifications you want, please don't hesitate. Just WhatsApp us on this number and my team will be able to support you immediately. So I hope it was useful. I hope you understood what is this course all about, all the details about the course. And as I told you, if you have any further doubts, please reach out to these numbers. Thank you, and I hope to see you on our first session on 20th November. Thank you. Bye.